Welcome back, everybody, to the Cool Times podcast, where we talk all things cool about the cold storage construction industry. We are your hosts, Jenna and Vince Free. We are joined today by another one-of-a-kind guest who joined us in studio, which is in-house. This is becoming a thing, and it's actually more fun, and it takes us a long time to record this because we laugh all the time. But our guest, as you watch it on video, can see sporting his new company hat. There it is. Our boy, Trent Lesikar, is in the house, 15 years construction experience, 3 years of cold storage construction experience. And he just recently went off on his own, started his own company, Axis Construction, where he is repping Greenspan insulated metal panels, Horman high-speed doors, low-temp doors, among other things as well. Some things we may or may not be able to talk about yet on the podcast, but as this airs, I'm sure it'll be public news. Ladies and gentlemen, Trent, what's up, man?
Going on? Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for putting up with us.
Yeah, that part too.
It's been enjoyable so far.
Yeah, totally. Well, congratulations on the new business, man.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming and kind of a dream that I've had for a long time, and I'm glad that we're finally here, and hopefully it continues to do well.
That's it. So you like not making money for the first year?
It's amazing. I mean, my wife really loves it too.
I'm sure she does.
So how'd you have that conversation with your wife? And you're like, you know what? I'm starting this because I know how I had it with Jenna. I almost had to ask.
Yeah, it was definitely a question. Like, hey, and over the last 12 years, we've had several of these conversations, and it's never, for whatever reason, worked out. And I went to her this time, and I'm like, I think this is it. And
it's time. Yeah.
Anyway, she was like, all right, let's do it. And I think she was kind of tired of me having that conversation and asking. And it was like, okay, just get it over with.
It's funny because I was the same way. I'm like, Jenna, we're going to start a company. And she's like, all right. And then I can see the wheels turning like, all right, how are we going to make this work? Because she's the money and the brains and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like, how are we going to survive for X amount of time? That was before money.
That was exactly it. It was like, all right, so how are we going to survive and what are we going to do? But you know what? She jumped in both feet and went after it. So I'm thankful for that. And hopefully it works. So far, so good.
Yeah. How involved is she now?
Nothing at the moment. She does marketing. She's my social media.
I love it.
But outside of that, I'm pretty much on my own. She's got a full-time job and a career as well, so only so many hours a day.
I hear that.
But that's awesome. I mean, it's a testament to your partnership to be able to come together and support one another and help each other grow dreams.
Yeah. Absolutely. So what territory are you covering now as a rep?
So I have Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. It's currently my territory for all lines.
Okay. Very cool. And your big line is Greenspan insulated metal panels.
Yep.
We've had a couple of panel people on the show already. And you guys tell us a little bit about Greenspan.
Yeah. So Greenspan is an independently owned panel manufacturer. They're located outside of Houston and Waller, Texas. Currently have one plant, but there is another plant that is being built as we speak and should go live midsummer 2023.
Wow.
So they're growing and make a really good product. They've been around for over 10 years now, and they're making a name for themselves.
I remember my first time I used Greenspan at my old company, and we were creatures of habit. We'd only buy 3 of the main panel people, and Greenspan was still new, but they were like over 5 years old, so they've been proven. And finally, I think I went up to some of the partners at the company. I'm like, guys, we need to try these guys out. And we used them on a job, and the panels were fantastic. Great quality, great everything.
Quality.
Yeah.
Well, when I started Axis, one of the things is I want to represent good quality, right? I want to sell something that I can stand behind. And previously I was a contractor, so I bought a lot of material, and I love the Greenspan panels. The guys, they do a really good job because they're independently owned. They're a little bit more nimble and flexible, and it's nice to be able to call the people actually making the decisions and be able to work things out when we need to.
I always forget that he was our competitor.
Yeah.
I was.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you were, but you weren't. I mean, we were cool. It's all good.
Well, there is such a thing as friendly competition.
100%.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we have most of that.
We do have most of that.
I'll have a drink.
Yes, please. We all should have a drink. Let me just do this real quick.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So one of the questions that we like to ask all of our guests on our podcast, if you've listened, I'm sure you know this one already, but it's brought to us today by our friends at Versafoam. And it's a question about what is a cool moment. And I know you've only been in our cold storage realm for about 3 years, but do you have a cool story or a cool moment that you'd be willing to share with us from your time in this industry?
Yeah. I got into construction because I like to build things.
Yeah.
And I spent the first 10 plus years of my career in the mechanical plumbing installation world. And it was cool. But when you drove, you're driving down the road and you see a job and you're like, oh, I did that job. And they're like, oh, what'd you do? Well, I did the installation on the mechanical plumbing. Oh, like stuff that's behind the ceilings, behind the walls. Like there's nothing sexy about it,
Not
right?
sexy at all. Yeah.
And anyways, when I got into this and like the very first job I did, and I actually saw the box that we built, right? And that is, I think, one of the things that I got into construction was being able to like see what you've actually done. It really kind of lit a fire under me again that had been gone for a little while. So it was cool.
Oh yeah.
That's really cool. It is cool to go around the country and see projects that you have been a part of.
Absolutely.
And to see them now fully done and fully functioning and people going in and out of the building. Like it's actually
absolutely
really interesting.
I like walking down the grocery store in the aisles and looking at all the frozen foods and the perishables and be like, oh, I built that. I was a part of that. I lost that job.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember the ones I lost too.
Yeah. I don't buy that because I lost that job.
I remember one of my first jobs and tell my wife, I was like, we have to buy this product now because I just sold the job and like we got to support it.
Good juju, man.
Yeah, you got to support
it.
Same
thing. Yeah, did the same thing. We did that with HelloFresh.
Mm-hmm.
We got a big HelloFresh job in Atlanta, and we started buying HelloFresh.
Some bacon. There's some bacon manufacturers.
I was a part of can we say the word right?
Yeah.
Can we say the word Newski's?
Yeah.
Newski's is like the best bacon in America. I mean, like if you don't know Newski's, you haven't had bacon. You haven't ate. You haven't lived. You haven't lived. You haven't lived if you had Newski's bacon.
Lived, people.
It's like the thickest, like applewood smoked best bacon ever.
So you like it?
I love it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I don't know where to find it out here.
Well, we had it at that one steakhouse.
Yeah, like
You're
to
welcome.
buy, not like restaurant.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Newski's, if you're listening, if you know someone at Newski's, let me know where to get the bacon into Texas.
Oh boy, here we go.
You probably ordered and have it shipped.
Yeah, you're probably right. The internet's a wild place.
It's crazy. Google.
The internet is a very wild space. Shockingly, you can buy whatever you want on the line, and they just ship it. A couple companies master that, like the Amazon, I think.
The Amazon. Yeah.
The
Amazon.
The Axis Construction.
Okay, so you started in plumbing and insulation. Tell us how you got into the cold storage part.
Yep. So graduated college and went to work for a mechanical plumbing installation company. Worked my way up through that. Did a couple startups, starting branches and stuff for some other people. And I kind of just got to a point where I was a little burnt out on it. Yeah. But I'd gone far enough in my career that making a jump wasn't necessarily easy either.
Yeah.
And anyways, got an opportunity in the with a cold storage contractor, and took it. And it was kind of an easy transition. I was in such a niche market before. That even though I had a lot of experience, it was hard to just transition to something else. But panels, insulation, understanding R values, thermal properties, all that type of stuff. It was a pretty good transition, and got an opportunity with a cold storage contractor. Loved it. Worked there for a couple of years, and then just through building relationships, buying panels from Greenspan.
Oh yeah.
Name drop.
Thanks, guys. Through those relationships, I kind of was like, I've always wanted to do this on my own. This is what I've wanted to do. I've wanted to own my own business, wanted to go out on my own. so earlier this year, I went to Greenspan and said, hey, I know you guys have a second plant coming. I know you don't have anybody in this territory right now. What do you think about hiring a new rep? And they talked about it for a little bit and came back and said, you know what? I think this is a good idea. Let's get out there in front of it before the second plant comes. And so we made a deal, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. And they're hats off to them. They're fantastic. I mean, you got to give a shout out to Brian Jacks and Johnny Reeves. Yeah, absolutely beauties. Sure. JR, Brian Jacks. We had them over at our house in Texas.
Yes.
I think that was the
SEBA.
It was the regional SEBA thing, right? Yep. Right. And the GCCA regional thing here in Dallas. And we had a great night. They're fantastic. I went skiing with them one time, and it was very interesting to ski. Memorable. Yes. It was memorable. It was.
I know.
I mean, it was one of those resorts. Well, we stayed at Airbnb, but it was one of those houses that had a really awesome hot tub on the deck, but it snowed so much that it was like 3 to 4 feet of snow. So we had to we opened the sliding door, and the snow was like, I'm not that tall, so it was over my head. and it was just like a flat wall of snow as you open the sliding door. And it's one of those things where, like, how do you get to the hot tub? We want to get to the hot tub, and we all grabbed shovels in our hands, and we were just firing away, swimming through snow and clearing it out and stuff. And I got to the hot tub first.
Shocking.
Because I wanted to get in the hot tub.
Shocking.
But I think, dude, Brian Jacks and JR, they stay behind with the shovels, clearing it all out for the guests. Dude, they're freaking great hosts, man. They killed it. Thank you, guys.
So you were in the hot tub watching them?
Yeah, it was cold. It was very cold.
Got it. Okay.
No, but they're hats off to them. They're fantastic people, great company. So
they are
fun to work.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. it's, as we were talking before we started this, having the conversation with my wife and getting her buy-in to, it's a partnership, right? It's a team to do this. And when they agreed, and I was like, well, now I gotta find some other lines. Right.
Yeah.
And,
that's true.
Anyways, I called up Low Temp and, they had recently lost their local rep. And so they were like, yes, for sure. Use some contacts that I had. I was previously buying doors from a little bit. And then looking at maybe some competitors around the country and some lines that they have. And anyways, Horman High Speed Doors was out there. And so ran a phone call. They immediately said yes. Like, both of those happened within like a day.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And
that's awesome.
So once I decided to do this, Greenspan was on board. Within a week, I had 3 lines already before I even opened up the doors. And anyways, we're just kind of growing from there. I got a heat trace line as well for floor heat and freezers.
Yep. Now you selling that to refrigeration contractors?
Yep. I'm selling it to cold storage contractors, refrigeration contractors, either one. So kind of depending on where the scope falls, sometimes even the GC, right?
Yeah.
Just depends on who you're talking to.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay. And very interesting. So, do you know a lot about high-speed doors, or are you learning a lot about high-speed doors?
I'm learning a lot about high-speed doors.
Yeah. Well, everyone wants their door to go really, really fast. And when it, malfunctions, it's usually not the door's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Use your air.
Yeah. Use your air. You ran into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forklift.
Yeah. No kidding. It's doors going 100 inches a second. Can you make it faster? I always got that back when I sold it. Can you make it go faster? I'm like, you hit the button, the door's open in less than 2 seconds. Like, how much faster do you want to go?
But we keep hitting it with the forklift.
Yeah, well, it's an activation problem. 9 times out of 10, it's activation. I mean, it's all about activation and safety and the photo eyes and your warning sensors and alarms before a door closes. And you got to look at traffic patterns, and all that stuff comes into play.
Yep.
With high-speed doors. So you just got to understand the application, don't just say, hey, here's a door and here's some motion sensors. I mean, you truly need to understand if it's tight spaces, maybe motion sensor is not the way to go. Maybe you need something more like a remote on everyone's forklift, or you need a full cord, or maybe, floor sensors, right? So definitely a bunch of different options for that, but you can almost, I don't want to say the word eliminate. I was always taught not to use that word eliminate,
but you just did.
But you can highly reduce.
There you go.
The impacts of these doors by activation. It's everything. So other than that, that's my 411 on high-speed doors.
Anyways,
Where's Horman out of?
So they are actually out of Europe.
Okay.
But they have a plant in Canada, which is where they're locally being shipped from.
Okay.
So
right
they I didn't know a whole lot about them. And then about the time that I started doing all this research and I was on a job and the entire plant was Horman high-speed doors.
Oh yeah.
And they're not necessarily the name brand that's out there.
Yep.
Like some of the other boys.
Yeah.
But they have a great door, and anything in Europe. I mean, high-speed doors in Europe, they know what they're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, they make a great product for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you have been in business for just a short time.
2.5 months.
Okay.
Real short.
Any initial lessons learned?
I learned one hard lesson right off the bat, and we'll just leave it at that.
Fair enough.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them that come with business ownership.
It's a lot of lessons learned. Yeah, they're lessons learned.
It happens, and I learned real quick,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been working on it for a little while, and to be continued. We'll see what happens in the next week or so.
Yeah, there you go.
And I think the longer you are in business, the more lessons that come your way as well. We're finding that out as well.
Have you been sued yet? Because my good friend said you're not a business until you're sued.
Not yet, but I did hire an attorney.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And my friend knows who I'm talking about. That's
on the payroll.
Yeah, exactly. So Low Temp Doors, another one of the brands you're carrying. They do cold storage, hinge doors, sliding doors.
Yep. Electric slide open manor sliders, horizontal, biparting, and then man doors as well. And
they're manufacturing out of where?
They have 3 plants that manufacture low temp doors: California, Kansas, and Tennessee.
That's insane. And I just discovered this company literally a year and a half ago, and I can't believe how big they are. They have doors all over the place.
Yeah. So Low Temp's actually owned by Everidge. And so they build Camlock. Everidge does. And they bought Low Temp, and we're doing it out of Tennessee. And they just recently, because of the demand, have started doing it out of their California and Kansas branches as well.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Very cool. So I guess my next question to you would be, out of the panels and high-speed doors and cold storage doors, which one is more fun to sell out of those 3? Just those 3.
Panels.
Yeah? Panels
all day long.
That's the only thing that doesn't move.
Yeah. Less problems.
It's the only thing that doesn't move. It's not sexy.
It's a lot more bigger value.
Yeah,
right?
I hear you.
So
I hear you. I hear you.
It's a little bit more sexy in the end.
New customer coming to you, Trent. Why, you're repping Greenspan. I got this project home. Why should I buy Greenspan panels in my building?
Yeah, like I mentioned a little while ago, the cool thing about Greenspan is they're only privately owned panel manufacturer left in the United States, right? And if there's a problem, you can go straight to the man and have that conversation.
Yeah.
They make a great product. They're a lot more nimble. I put them in when I was on the construction side.
Yeah.
And because of the good product, the good quality, that you're selling your end user something that's going to last and isn't going to have any issues.
And back fastening is always a pain in the ass on a job. And Greenspan developed a larger hidden fastener clip
patent pending.
That reduces having to back fasten as much, right?
Yep.
So where can people find you? Where can people find out more information about Access? They want to get in touch with you. If they want to come and talk to you about your product lines. How do they find you?
Yep. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on Instagram, and then obviously our website, accessconstructionsolutions.com as well. And then all of our contacts, so email, phone number, all that good stuff is on there. There's also links to all of our manufacturers. I love that.
Oh, great.
Love
that. Yeah.
So do the manufacturers on their website put your info on their website as reps to call too?
Yep. So awesome. You go to Greenspan's website, look into who to buy. It's going to have Access Construction on there, and reach out to me. So you can go to the manufacturers, you can go to my website, either one.
That's so cool. From a trade show standpoint, what trade shows or yearly conferences do you look forward to going to the most?
Your trade show, of course.
It's
right?
not. Why is there gonna call it my trade show? I'm gonna have to get GCCA on the horn here and get them on the podcast because we needed some scores to sell here. I wish it was my show.
Yeah, SEBA. I mean, It's fun.
Yeah.
I went last year as the contractor.
Yeah.
This year I'm going as the manufacturer's rep.
That's awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, awesome for you. Uh,
I don't get it.
free drinks. So
that's not true. I'll buy you drinks.
Yeah.
We'll buy you drinks. We got you.
It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed last year seeing all the other construction companies and their projects and some of the issues that they're going through and how they got through them and just some of the technology that's out there that's going on right now, the different ways people are using it. It was fun. We had a good time, obviously. It's in Vegas. So you can't not have fun.
Well, this year is Jacksonville.
Yep.
Here we come.
Yeah, we just had a call this week on prepping that show. I'm still on the chair and past chair now, so
You're the old chairman.
I get to be on the executive call still, which is awesome, and be involved in some of the planning and what we're doing. And there's some exciting shit going down. Yeah, so
nice.
It's gonna be an awesome conference. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the best one ever. It's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Is it gonna be great?
It's gonna be fantastic.
Awesome. It's gonna be
It's
amazing.
gonna be phenomenal.
It's gonna be phenomenal. Are you done?
No, I'm
Good
just getting
Lord.
started.
God.
Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Well, cheers to that.
So we're cutting anyways.
Yeah, no, it's
not
not a
cut.
cut. We're not cutting into this. This stuff's good stuff here. I mean, we love having you on the show, Trent. This is good. I like learning about all the product lines. Fantastic. You started your own gig.
Thank you.
Jenna, if you were to give Trent any advice for his new beginnings, what would you give?
There's so much. I don't know where to start.
There's a lot. Just one thing.
I think just know that. Ooh, do you want me to use your one that you just got this weekend?
Sure.
So one of his mentors told us this weekend that you shouldn't say that you are stressed. You should say that you have challenges, because challenges motivate you to move forward. And stress can sometimes sink you down. And so if we reframe it in our mind to look at these stressful moments as just challenges or obstacles to overcome in business, we can keep our resilience.
100%.
We can keep our mood up.
So I was just out in California and I was talking to one of my old mentors and he was asking me how business was. And this gentleman is a very successful real estate guy, owns like 20,000 properties in California. This is the same guy that walked into LA Kings office and tried to buy them outright.
Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course I can. Everyone knows the story.
Okay.
It goes down in history. Like, and
they're
like,
awesome.
and they're like, who are you? And he's like, so he's very, very well off, but he's smart. I mean, he's super savvy, super smart. And he's asking about our business. And a backstory to this, and I'll tell this story because I don't mind telling it. I went to him and asked him, Jen and I went to him and asked him if he wanted to be investors in our company to help us get started. And the bottom line is he denied us and said, you don't need my help.
It was hard to hear.
And I'm like, at the time, I'm like, yes, we do.
Like,
we also need your money. No, and he's like, you don't need my help. He refused. I mean, he could have snapped of a finger or a pen, done whatever he wanted, but he's looked at, he's like, you guys do not need my help.
It was the greatest blessing and the greatest lesson.
It was. But
the struggle sometimes helps.
Oh,
yes.
You need to struggle to get to the end. So you appreciate it.
100%. So, to Jenna's point, when she's telling you that advice, I said, dude, I'm just so stressed right now. And he slapped me. He literally hits me. And I'm like, whoa. He's like, don't ever use that word again. I'm like, did I swear? He's like, don't use that word. I was like, what, stress? He's like, yeah. And he hits me again because I said it again. And he's like, stress is right here. You could be a rich man and you're stressed. You could be a poor man and you're stressed. You're always, that's a mindset that's going to bring you down. It's not stress, it's challenges.
Yeah.
So it was great advice I wish I would have had 3 years ago during this whole thing. But as we are continuing to grow and bring on new people and have new challenges, that's advice I wish I would have had.
Yeah. Well,
more than 3 years ago.
And I think it's all about timing too. Like you with the timing with your business, with these lines being available, with them saying yes, you hearing this message at this time, then being able to share it. Like I really do think life is all about timing. So
it really is.
But I agree with you. Another piece that I think I take for, I don't always think about is being thankful for the struggle. It sucks when you're in it, but it is going to be so much of how you view the rest of your business moving forward.
Yeah.
It's going to ground you. It's going to probably be your greatest blessing.
So I'm going to give you a chance to brag and have the spotlight. I'm going to ask you, why should people buy from Trent?
You know, I believe that I offer a little bit different perspective than some of my counterparts in the industry. And the fact that I was on the construction side, I was sitting in your shoes for the majority of my career. And I know the questions that are being asked of you guys. I know the pressures that you guys are under, all that type of stuff. And so because of that, I feel like as a manufacturer's rep, I'm kind of the middle guy that maybe can help understand what you guys have going on for the manufacturers, but also I'm seeing the manufacturer side of things now too, and I can help relate those to the contractor at the end of the day, right? Because I have that experience of knowing where you guys are, and I think that's kind of what sets me apart. And then I think it's maybe the same thing as the Greenspan is. You have my lifeline, right? Yeah. So pick up the phone, call me when there's a problem. Let's figure out how to solve it together and move forward and continue to grow and do business together.
I love it.
Building relationships.
Dude, that's fantastic. All right. Well, we're getting down to this segment of my favorite part of the show where we get to do cool rapid round questions. And this one's sponsored by VersaFoam. Are you excited to do this one?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. Because I did not prepare for you because this was an impromptu podcast in the office. So I'm going to kind of wing this a little bit. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, this or that. You have to answer one or the other.
All right.
Don't say both and be that guy. Oh, I'm Mr. Everything. Don't do that. Okay. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Tequila or whiskey?
Tequila.
Tequila or vodka?
Vodka.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Oh, yeah. All right. Motorcycle or bicycle?
Motorcycle.
You sleep with the fan on or no fan?
Fan on.
All right. Do you like box and box or ground up construction projects?
Ooh. In the world I'm in now, maybe box in a box.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Are you a cold beer or cold drink guy?
Cold drink.
Are you beach or pool?
Pool or lake?
Ooh. I didn't use lake.
Write that down.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Ping pong or air hockey?
Ping pong.
I have a ping pong table in the office.
I feel like we need to have a war.
After this, it's on. We're going to record it. And after the show, if you're watching on YouTube, stay on the horn on YouTube and we'll videotape this and we'll upload it on YouTube and part of the bloopers. You guys can watch us play. All right.
Before or after more tequila?
A little bit of both. All right. My favorite one, Justin Timberlake or Justin Bieber?
Timberlake. Too old for Bieber. Really like some Toe Wetzel though. If we're gonna do it.
I love it. Any last things you want to say, talk about, anything like that?
No, I appreciate you guys having me today and look forward to continue to grow this relationship and see where it goes.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you guys. Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to you. It is something that not a lot of people do.
100%.
I'm really happy for you and I'm really proud of you following your dream.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it. It's been fun.
Trent, thank you so much. And all the listeners out there, thank you guys for listening to us trip over our feet here with our in-house live impromptu podcast here. But you guys can listen to our work on Apple Podcasts. You guys can watch our podcast on YouTube with the video. Please subscribe to all our channels on social medias. We have the Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram,
all the socials.
And which one did I just miss out? Twitter. So we will have a little 60-second, 30-second clip of our show and links to follow how to watch that. Again, this one's sponsored by VersaFoam.
Thank you.
Thank you, VersaFoam. If you need spray foam, hook up with my guy, Peter Bartel. Other than that, we are looking forward to having you guys listen into our next podcast. And till next time, thank you.
Turn your face up.
All right, we're going to start this off. Clean slate. I can't wait for our team to edit the beginning of this. Jesus. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a professional podcast.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so anyways.
Tequila
or vodka?
vodka.
Oh man.
Oh no, he lost it.
Jenna, if you were to give Trent any advice for his new beginnings, what would you give?
Oh, me advice. We're gonna have to cut some of this dead air out right now.
Okay. 1-0. Two nothing. 3-0.